Hey guys, welcome back. This is another Saga Age of the Wolf campaign game, and this time I'm going to take on the Scots. I apologise for my opponent's miniatures. He's using standard figures. Unfortunately, he ordered up some Scots from Warlord Games and ordered up 2 weeks into prior to the event, but somewhat 8 weeks later, we're still waiting for them. He's got a few there. Unfortunately, he didn't have any spears and shields when they arrived. So, all in all, he's using some Lord of the Rings figures to stand in for the moment. So, we're playing the challenge, so our Warlords are out in front. What you can see I've got there, it's a 4-point game. I think my opponent chose the size. I've probably gone a bit bigger. So, I've got 2 points of mounted Hearthguard, 3 points of mounted Hearthguard, and 1 of Levy. And my Warlord there. My opponent's got, on the outside of the units there, it's the 2 plastic ones. They are all Levy archers. The metal ones in the centre are his Scots warriors, the few miniatures that turned up. And the Morannon orcs there, unfortunately, are his Hearthguard of 4 models of. So I got first turn and went straight in at him. I took my biggest unit of 7 Hearthguard in just to try and do some damage along with the Warlord. Obviously, see there, I got fatigue on the way in. It's my second move to get in there. And I managed to cause 4 hits on him. I think he went defensive, didn't manage to do any damage on me. So yep, that was 4 hits on him so far, so that puts me in the lead. So during this, the Warlords have 12 wounds apiece. And who wounded the opponent's Warlord the most wins. So I'm winning at the moment. As you see, I moved my guys back. I of course played in all directions, allowed me to move my mounted units back behind the hill to hide away from his archers that he's bringing up at the moment. He doesn't seem to have done a lot because unfortunately he's also under the my special rule for my Warlord, which is the penny, which means he's only rolling 1/3 of his Saga dice, rounding up in the first turn and half in the second turn, and then back to normal. And at the moment, with being in the Bretons as well, it's been very painful for my opponents. It gives me a good 2 turns to get some javelin throws in before I can hide somewhere. So he does it right there and moves up, as you can see there. His hero's special ability was Hero of the Dark Age, which means he's generating 3 Saga dice. So as you can see there, just to make sure you understand what's going on the left hand side are his Levy, so at the top of the screen here. The guys at the back are his Hearthguard, his Warlord, his unit of Warriors, and then another unit of Levy. And yeah, both Levy have bows. This was a force I wasn't really keen on going against. So since he moved his warriors up, I thought I'd go and introduce myself and charged up with my cavalry here to throw some javelins, do as much damage as I can, try and get rid of a Saga dice for him. As you can see, I cut off 2 of them. And as I do, I just pull back to, as you can see here. Again, this combination of movement and the in all directions. I'm going to move up my Levy to form a shield because he can't shoot through my level at my cavalry. Give me something to dart around from, and also throw some javelins at his own Levy as well. And my opponent moves up, as you can see. I say he's up to half his dice at the moment, so he's probably getting 4 dice or so to start with. And this is what he's managed to do with them. So I just moved my Levy up, and I thought while I'm there I may as well throw some javelins. I think a couple were out, but I got a few javelins there. I managed to take out 1 of the Hearthguard. Unfortunately, I didn't plan it too well to be able to get my cavalry in against them as well, because that would have been quite useful. So instead, my cavalry form up on the hill to throw some javelins at the warriors. And if you're wondering why I've got some guys the other way around and some guys facing forward, it's because if you get within medium of a unit, in subsequent moves you have to charge them. And because I want to move away, unfortunately I didn't have enough dice for the in all directions. Knowing that I have to move away, I make sure I'm in range for both units, and but out of range of having to engage them. Because my bases are less than 1 inch wide, that allows me to move up like this, throw all my javelins in 2 ranks, and then still move away again without having to be forced to charge. And of course with some nasty combos of dice, I think on this one I managed to get the extra 3 attacks, lose a couple attacks. Yeah, lose half my attacks, reduce their armor by 2, and then gain 3 attacks. So I think I've had about 6 dice here hitting on 2s. 4, 3, 2, yeah, hitting on 2s. So I managed to kill off 3 of them. And then I just pulled them back behind the hill, so they're safe from any archers that might come in their way. It was close, so I almost managed to kill off a Saga point there. So I will be chasing that warrior as soon as I get a chance. Unfortunately, with all these archers around, it's limiting my manoeuvrability of my cavalry. As their armour is reduced against ranged units, it makes them quite fragile. So my opponent moves up with his archers and has a shot at my levy, and manages to pop one of my levy off for a quick kill. He then throws his Hearthguard in to try and kill a few more off. Unfortunately, the downside of trying to spread out to cover my cavalry means that I'm not going to get so many in base contact, and with the few attacks levy have anyway, you only get 1 per 3. It's going to be a pretty short fight here. But the result wasn't quite as bad as I was thinking. I only lost 2 for the loss of 1 Hearthguard. So that's definitely a win for me there. I was quite pleased with that. But as for the combat, I do lose it and I'll be pushed away. So things end up looking like this. And the end of the turns looks like something like this. So as you can see, he's just moved up with his Hearthguard and his Warlord. He's also moving his archers up as well, while running away with that little warrior just to keep the Saga dice relatively safe. So I thought I'd throw my Warlord in and try and finish all his 2 Hearthguard, and he managed to do it himself. It's only 1 skull there because I did actually manage to take one out with some shooting from the Hearthguard that I've moved up to the left there first of all. So I only had 1 to take out anyway. So after some shooting, let's say his Hearthguard's gone, finish him off in combat. I then did some shooting against his Warlord, but his Warlord having an armour of 6 anyway. Just for being a Warlord made it near impossible with the few shots that I had to do any damage, and that's how we're looking. So my opponent's turn, he moves his Warlord, and of course has no choice because of Warlord's pride to engage my own Warlord. I didn't mind this. I had some Hearthguard I could pass wounds to if I wanted to, but I have 12 wounds, and to be honest, a Warlord versus Warlord with what 5 attacks apiece is going to be pretty limited in what can be done. And yeah, I thought that's what happened. We scrapped, did no damage to each other, and he bounced off. Just for some points, he throws himself in again, has another go. And this time we both managed to wound each other a piece. So yeah, he's up to 5 wounds, I've got 1. And this is how things are looking on my end of the opponent's turn. So in my turn, I keep the pressure on and move up with my levy and throw some more javelins at his levy just to try and get rid of some archers. And after softening them up, I thought I'll go straight in with my mounted Hearthguard. I don't normally do this because my Hearthguard are quite fragile in combat, but here I'm only up against levy. My opponent didn't have his special ability, which I think is backwards. It could be basically he gets to roll a dice for each of his models in the combat, and if it rolls higher than their armor save, I lose an attack. So levy can really stop some attacks coming in there. That's why I don't tend to charge these guys, but since there was nothing on it, in I went. And I was very happy with that result. I managed to knock them all out and only lose 1 of my knights. Seeing an opening, I'd send through my cavalry just to throw some javelins against this chap running away, just to reduce the saga pool for my opponent even further. But unfortunately, the little chap managed to dodge all my javelins. So with his Warlord on his own, I thought I'd at least give it a go and chuck my Warlord against him. He didn't have much choice anyway, due to Warlord's pride and being within 12 inches of him. So in I went, and managed to cause another wound. And things are looking like you can see here. So I'm in quite a happy situation. The only thing I'm relatively worried about are those ruddy archers on the other side. I would really have liked to got rid of the warrior to get rid of the saga dice. At the end of the day, levy aren't the easiest thing to manoeuvre, but those archers might do some damage quite quickly. Yeah, so my opponent opens up with his archers and manages to take out 2 of my Hearthguard. And desperate to get some points here for killing my Warlord, or get the extra wounds on my Warlord, he chucks his Warlord in again. And no hits either way, and he bounces. In my turn, I go in and have at him again, trying to keep pushing him away. And successfully I do, but no damage to either side, so which means I probably just got a wound through, but his resilience saved it. Up here, I move up to start throwing some javelins at the levy. This is probably not the best choice in the world, thinking about it. My guys are so fragile against him. But I couldn't charge him into him because he had his defensive buff up that would have really nullified the amount of damage I could have caused. And my guys at the end of the day are just as fragile in combat as they are being shot at. Thinking of going into combat with this guy because 4 attacks will be better than 2 javelin throws. And it pays off because I managed to kill the guy off without taking any damage myself. Yep, more javelins are thrown into the levy, but only 2 more go down. And so we're looking at something like this. So the levy continue their shooting. I managed to take out another one on my Hearthguard. And fire again. That finishes him off. And I end up with another... no, I don't. No fatigue from shooting. That fatigue was on my Warlord from last turn. And with the spare dice and actions, his Warlord goes into mine again, just to try and get a few more points off me. But if I go defensive, I mean, I'm not going to hurt him at all. And it's going to be pretty rough for him to hurt me. But I go attacky anyway and have the 5 attack dice, because I've just got just as much counter chance of killing him and he has of me. So let's go for it. And again, he's pushed back. So my turn with my dwindling dice too. I mean, I'm only down to 3 at the moment, which is annoying. It's the same as my opponent's, because he has the Hero of the Saga Age, or Hero of the Viking Age try. So I just move up here, and I decide to throw javelins in, so not to risk any of my troops. Now, that was a piss poor idea. I don't know why I just didn't run straight into him. And so we're looking something like this. So my opponent has another go at me and charges in and pushes me back. And the shooting open fires again on my fragile Hearthguard and managed to take 1 down. And so things are looking like this. So I'm either aiming to try and take out his Warlord now, just to finish the game. Obviously he won't generate any Saga dice then, thus the game is over. And I go at his Warlord again. As you see, I've got 2 wounds on me now from the previous turn. And after the combat, yeah, I've got 2 wounds, and he's on 10 out of 12. Just needed to do 2 more wounds, didn't quite kill him off. And after the last lot of shooting, I thought, you know what, I may as well throw these guys into combat and finally defeat the levy. But as you can see, I lost 3 Hearthguard for 5 levy. Yeah, that was pretty poor, not a great idea. And we fight again. My opponent trying to just cause some more wounds on, and he knows the game's over. Unless he can kill off my Hearthguard and my Warlord. But there's just no way he's going to do it, so he just came in here for just try and finish everything off. And yeah. He bounced, and that's, oh no, I bounced. He managed to cause 2 more wounds. So I was only 2 wounds off killing him out. I was really close. And my last Hearthguard is still there. So that was a win to me. Now, I seem to have lost quite a few troops there I wasn't expecting to. And we'll just have a quick look at what I lost and what I gained. Yeah, so losses weren't too bad at the end. I mean, these games, none of the losses are too bad, you know, at the end of the day anyway, which kind of makes the game fun. So I lost 2 Hearthguard from 1 unit. I was obviously my large unit. I lost 1 Hearthguard from my small 4-man unit that got wiped out. And I also only lost 1 levy as well, so my levy survived pretty well. And then my opponent, he lost 5 levy, 3 from 1 unit, 2 from another, 2 warriors, and 1 Hearthguard. So at the end of the battle, I also rolled up for my fate table and managed to get 7 levy reinforcements. And I also got Hearthguard just for my recruitment, as well as having a campaign victory point for winning the battle as well. So that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, well, as always, I have a giveaway. I'm hoping to get to 793 subscribers, 793 being the start of the Viking Age, and for that I've been given, thanks to Britain Beast, SAGA rulebook, the original one, with 4 starter boards, which is the Welsh, Norman, Viking and Anglo-Danes. 2 lots of Saga dice. I have the Christian faction dice and the Viking dice, and I had some spare plastic berserkers that I had made up for my original Vikings, and they're going into. So if you're interested in getting these, once I reach 793 subscribers, I will put out the comment on my next video saying hail, and I want you to simply reply in the comment section with Ragnar. and then the first batch that get in there, I'll randomly roll, and one of you win. So it would be nice and easy, nothing too crazy. All I'm after is subscribers. The more subscribers I get, the more I can ask and chase up for some prizes, and hopefully to make things just a bit more exciting for you. So I hope that's good to you, and I'll see you next time. Thou Wallace.